All right, Shay, you have the microphone first. What a shock. Shay's
Um,
first.
I just wondered how good this week has been, and if you can just maybe.
It's
provide-
too early to say,
Okay.
because we took Sunday off, we practiced Monday and Tuesday and off yesterday, so probably, today and tomorrow will be more of our Texas prep.
And how-
days, but, hopefully the guys are getting their legs back under them.
And how's Kevin? Any status update? Do you know if he'll be available Saturday?
No, I do not know.
Okay.
He hasn't done anything yet this week.
Okay.
So we'll probably wait and see if he's able to do anything today. Today will probably determine if he plays on Saturday as much as anything, but I probably won't tell you guys that.
In terms of Monday and Tuesday practice, is that more like self-scout, you working on things?
Yeah,
Or
just a
some
regular
focuses?
practice, all the different things that we could do in a game or things that we need to work on, absolutely, yeah.
And we know that in the winter time, at least, you guys get a chance to practice more. Do you feel like this is a similar type of schedule, or is it different?
No, it's hour and 15 minutes. No, this isn't anything like over the break or anything like that. No, this is just try to get them off their feet as much as possible.
When you have to deal with the challenge of playing, you mentioned the thing the other day about looking to see if a 4 or 5 man can shoot threes, one of the first things we look at on a roster. Just what will it require out of your big men to deal with that sort of challenge against Texas?
Well, they have one guy that shoots quite a few, and he makes a lot of the ones he shoots. So yeah, we got to come up with some way to stay connected and still yet do a good job on ball screen defense. I think we can. I think it's not the first time we've had to deal with that, but certainly Dessou shoots it. Probably this year, he's shooting it probably about as well as any big that I can remember shooting it over a course of a season. So, he's a handful.
Have you watched all the Big 12 action this week, and what do you think of Texas's guards?
Well, I haven't. I've watched games on Monday, and I forgot who played last night. Who played last night? Oklahoma State won at Cincinnati, but I didn't watch that game. But watched obviously some. Who was it? Baylor at BYU, and then Iowa State at Houston. So those were two high level games on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So I didn't watch them all, but Texas's guards, they're good. I mean, I'm a big fan of Tyrese. We tried hard to get him here. When he left Ames, and Max to me is one of the best scoring points or best scoring guards that we'll face all year long. So they're good. But the one guy I think that makes their team as much as anybody is Weaver. I mean, he is a high energy dude that can make a lot of plays in a lot of different ways that impact games.
What do you see in the Big 12 standings, and are these two home games absolutely musts?
I think in our situation, holding serve at home is really important. We don't have any margin for error, but I'm not looking at it the way that maybe some people are looking at it. I'm looking at, hey, let's try to win one game at a time, and we can't control what other people do, and whatever happens. But as long as we take care of our business, we got a chance to have a really good year in our league. Now, whether or not that means having a chance to play for anything of the highest stakes against Houston, that remains to be seen. We better go 4-0 if we're going to do that. But the best way to win them all is to win the first one. If you don't win the first one, that certainly eliminates all those desires. So yeah, we're just worried about Texas. I'm not worried about anything beyond that.
Assuming everyone gets healthy, Bill, looking back, it provided more minutes for Nick and El Marco. Could that end up being a positive, the fact that you've got those guys extra minutes?
I actually think it could. If you go back analytically, and if you guys studied it, when our 5 starters play together, once league play has started, it's pretty good. When there's been 1 or 2 of the 5 not in, it hasn't been near as good as when it's been with the 5 in. Nick Marco, you know, we're not going to have depth unless we can play them both, and that needs to occur. I actually think, you know, Nick hasn't shot it well, but his numbers are pretty good from a plus-minus standpoint when he's been in the game. Yeah, I think there's been some good things that's transpired. Those five playing together, you know, it sounds easy. Your starters, you know, should play the best. Well, that's obvious, or they shouldn't be starting. I mean, I totally get that. But the amount of minutes that starters actually play together in a game is minimal compared to what most people think it is, because you always have somebody that's subbed in. So you know, even if, and we don't sub much, but even if that number's 18 minutes, you know, whatever, that's still 22 minutes that it doesn't occur. So you know, we got to have, you know, guys off the pine, off the bench, come in and be positive contributors, which we've shown where we can be. We just haven't done it consistently.
Hey, with Johnny, now that you've seen a prolonged period where he's been in this role, high minutes, all that, what do you like most about his game and what he brings for you guys?
Well, I think he's just scratching the surface. I think he does everything pretty good. You know, he shoots it pretty well. He runs in transition great. He's a good, you know, finish with either hand around the rim very well. I mean, he does a lot of good things. I love having him out there, and I think the players like playing with him. You know, I still think he's a baby colt. You know, he's just finding his way. But he's certainly, you know, he's been terrific for us.
Is there one area of his game that's surprised you? He's exceeded maybe better than you thought he was?
I think he's a much better rebounder than what I envisioned him being. I think he's a much better loose ball guy than what I envisioned him being.
I think Hunter's gotten to the line a lot less frequently than he did in his time at Michigan. Just why do you think that is, and what do you think he can do to start getting to the line more?
You want an honest opinion, or do you want me to coach speak it? He just needs to play more physical and post up deeper and play through contact better. So that's what I would say. But you know, if you look at it statistically, he hasn't been a high volume free throw shooter anywhere he's been, compared to a lot. Like Kevin McCullough will shoot twice as many free throws or 3 times as many free throws on average in a game than Hunter will, and there's reasons for that. But Hunter hasn't been a guy that has played near as close to the basket in many opportunities, because there's big bodies, strong bodies that you got to get through to get close to the basket. But you know, that's the way that it's just being the game. You know, a lot of it's on us, a lot of it's on maybe Hunter a little bit. You know, but the physicality in the post play has been something that probably hasn't benefited Hunter with free throw attempts.
Anything else?
With 3 coaches ejected this year, has there been any, you know, talks with the head of the officials? Is this getting to a point where there has to be discussion between the coaches and Curtis?
Because of ejections?
Yeah, I mean, it shows that 3 powerful coaches have gotten upset enough to get ejected.
Well, yeah, so I haven't visited with one person from the conference office about that whatsoever, and I won't. I'm not as interested in what happened at Houston or what happened at Baylor. I'm more interested in what happens with us, but I haven't made a phone call to the conference office about what transpired on that particular situation at all, nor will I. Nor have I talked to anybody.
I wondered if you had an opinion on how quickly the NBA makes changes. Jacques Vaughn got fired after a real short period of time. Do you have an opinion on Jacques?
Oh, well, we all love Jacques. You know, I'm not in Brooklyn, and I don't know what's happening firsthand or anything like that, but we all love Jacques, and we want what's well for him. I hope he had a good contract, so that way he'll be fine regardless, which I'm sure he did. But I think, you know, at that level, you know, it's, when somebody, buys the franchise and pays $3 billion for it, you would think they probably have a little bit more clout in what they think needs to be done. And when somebody has an investment like that, I would think the patience would probably be not quite as much if somebody didn't have near as much equity in your business. So I think, I could be wrong, but I think those guys understand that there's two types of coaches. And it's that way for the most part in college too, but there's the ones that have been fired and the ones that haven't been fired yet. And I think most of those guys in the NBA probably understand that.
Anything else?